and get that backspin to work against them and get as many pop outs as she can, but also keep them off balance with her changeup so that she can really try and fool them and get them swinging at stuff that they don't want to swing at.
And here is Kiki Malloy, and boy, what a player she is. The graduate student has been outstanding in her career. Swings and misses here to even the count at 1-1. Malloy, first team All-American, first team All-SEC last year, hit over 400. Led the nation in home runs with 25. That was a Tennessee record. Also led the SEC in stolen bases, and she's doing similar things this year, which is what makes her so tough. Fourth in the SEC in hitting coming into the weekend at 440. In the top 10 in home runs, runs scored, slugging, on base, and second in stolen bases. And Joy Hurd evens the count here, 2-2.
We're already seeing Hurd here really try and work up in the zone. The first 3 pitches were all there as well. I'm interested to see what she's going to use here to go for a strikeout as she's facing one of the most powerful hitters in the SEC.
Didn't chase that pitch. Runs the count full. Malloy, just that unique combination of power and speed. Payoff pitch, we'll have another one.
In this position here, I can only imagine what's going through Hurd's head, that she's facing one of the most powerful hitters in the SEC, but she's also trying to get the first out of the game. She's really trying to go for that leadoff out to try and set the tone for the game, have some great spirits about her team and raise morale to begin things, but she's got a tough draw here.
Pops this one up. First baseman Jen Cummings is there, and there's one away. And whenever you can retire Kiki Malloy to start a game, it's a big out, and it's the first out here in the top of the first. Doesn't get too much easier, though. This is a good hitting team for Tennessee. Sixth in the SEC overall in hitting at 317, but second in the SEC with 47 home runs. There's the first baseman, Zeta Pooney. Pooney is senior. Hits that one into the gap towards right center. Right fielder Carly Henderson is there, and quickly 2 outs in the Tennessee first. It's a good start for Jory Hurd, but still one more mountain to climb here in the first. It's the third baseman, McKenna Gibson.
Absolutely. I'm loving the aggression that Jory Hurd's going in with this game. She's really trying to get them swinging, and she's getting quick outs. I'm loving the efficiency of a really great batting team, but also ones that have great eyes. She's really doing her job and just trying to attack with what she knows and doing her job, doing the best she can just to really focus in, get her outs, get her team into the dugout so that they can start manufacturing some hits against a powerful Tennessee pitching staff.
Gibson, first team All-SEC, second team All-America last year. And with her numbers this year up for similar consideration. Hitting .397 on the year. A lot of pop in the bat as well. 4 home runs, 26 knocked in. Gibson last year against the Gamecocks went 4 for 10, but drew 5 walks. There's an 8-game hitting streak coming into the weekend. In terms of overall series, Tennessee leads the series with 44 wins against 23 for the Gamecocks, but I believe the last 10 series have been split. And 5 wins apiece. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1-2-3 goes Tennessee in the first as Jory Hurd gets her first strikeout. No scores. The game. Denver Bryant, the third baseman, to lead things off for the Gamecocks in her first season here in Columbia after transferring from Auburn. Moving up in the order the last week or so.
A statistic that really points to Carlin Pickens' improvement on her control is her strike to walkout ratio. She's averaging about 104 strikeouts right now with only 16 walks on the year, and that boils down to about 2 walks for every 23 strikeouts that she has. That is absolutely insane.
Rodriguez couldn't make Rodriguez couldn't make the throw to first, and Bryant is aboard. We'll see how they score it. It might be an infield hit as the second baseman was moving towards the bag. Either way, the Gamecocks get a base runner to lead things off here. It'll be a base hit. Take another look. Rodriguez does a good job to get there with the backhand, but really couldn't get her legs underneath her on the throw. Looked like Bryant was going to beat that out anyway. Here's Riley Blampede, the center fielder. Had a healthy cut, but came up empty. Blampede third on the Gamecocks in hitting at .323 on the year. He's at the top of the lineup much of the season, moved down a little bit after a little bit of a slump, but has found some production as of late. Both these teams active on the base paths. Tennessee third in the SEC with 40 swipes on the year. The Gamecocks tied for fourth with 35 steals. Bryant 3 for 3 over at first base. Tried the checker swing.
Some momentum that the Gamecocks are carrying in from the Clemson game is that they were able to not only get runners on, but get them moving and have them scoring runs. I'm hoping to see how Blampede here in this situation can get this runner moving. They started out strong getting a runner on, but now it's their job to move them and carry that momentum that we saw from Clemson game.
Pickens bounces that one up there. It gets away from Sophia Nugent, and the Gamecocks have a runner in scoring position on the wild pitch. Well, this isn't characteristic of Carlin Pickens. You were just talking about the control that she has. It's news when she does walk somebody with that terrific strikeout to walk ratio, but not quite off to the start she would like to be.
One thing I think we can expect from Pickens, though, is even though she might not have the best control in the moment and she might not have the greatest start that she wants, she's able to really keep her composure, keep things calm and collected, and really go about the game trusting her defense is behind her and trusting that things are going to work out in the long run.
3-1 to Blampede. Up the middle, Rodriguez is there, only play to first. They get the out, but Bryant moves to third on the play. So the Gamecocks have a runner at third with one down. Brings up the first baseman, Jen Cummings, who also splits time at catcher. A senior in her second season here in Columbia after transferring after 2 years at Washington. She's a Washington native. Hit .276 in her first year with the Gamecocks. Off to a slow start, but swinging the bat better as of late. Had that home run, her first of the year against Clemson on Wednesday. Also had a two-hit day against the Tigers, I should say.
Absolutely. That's the type of confidence boost that she's really needed this whole season. And now that she's had it, I'm interested to see how she builds upon it and uses it in powerful situations like this one.
Infield in, checks her swing. They've got the shift on. The infield is in. The center fielder, Kiki Malloy, is shaded towards left center with Julia Kutsoyanopoulos, the left fielder, playing shallow as well. Say that 3 times fast. .2-0 hit foul down the left field line.
Back to Kutsoyanopoulos' name, something that I was very passionate about in my time as a player was making sure that I was able to pronounce all the names correctly because I myself had an interesting last name to pronounce and people always got it wrong.
Yes.
And so I was always very passionate about making sure that people's names were said correctly because it is so important. It's who they are, it's what they're called, and so I love that we're really trying to make sure that we're saying her name right.
Skied to center, Malloy back to the warning track, makes the grab, and tagging at third is Denver Bryant, and the Gamecocks are on the board on the sac fly from Jen Cummings. Good start for South Carolina. They got her on, got her over, and got her in. And for Carlin Pickens, prior to that run scoring, she had not allowed a run in her last 9 appearances, 46 innings straight. She had not allowed a run, and the Gamecocks strike for 1 here in the first.
And that right there is a momentum build that we have been waiting to see from South Carolina, and we are finally seeing it after that Clemson win.
Here's Kiana Jones, the left fielder. The RBI for Cummings, by the way, her 12th of the year on the sacrifice fly. Jones in her first season here in Columbia, native of Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. Started her career with 2 years at Minnesota, then the last 2 years at North Carolina before coming here for her final year. So A newsworthy moment with the Gamecocks scratching a run across early here against Carlin Pickens, who's been the SEC Pitcher of the Week the last 2 weeks. And time is called, and we'll conference in the circle. Tennessee coming in at 23-4, 3-0 in SEC play. He's allowed 6 runs, but only 2 were earned. 9 hits, 9 strikeouts, only 1 walk. She was the winner in Game 2 of that series last year in Knoxville. 1-1 to Kiana Jones. Check swing foul. Hit in the air to right field. Taylor Panel is there. There's out number 3. But the Gamecocks do get a run on the sac fly from Jen Cummings to score Denver Bright for Tennessee in their half of the second. The DP Riley West set to lead things off against Jory Hurd as the sophomore retired Tennessee in order in the first inning. West, a senior, California native. Hit 275 a year ago and off to a terrific start here. Second leading hitter for Tennessee. Fouls that one into the South Carolina dugout. Up high. West hitting at 407. Of her 22 hits, 12 are for extra bases. She has 4 doubles, a triple, and 7 home runs. 4th in the SEC in slugging percentage. In fact, Tennessee has 3, 4, and 5 in slugging percentage in the league. With Malloy, West, and Laura Mueller, who we'll see later.
But Brad, despite all of these stats, one of the things that I love most about Riley West is that she is not only a great softball player, but she is a great citizen. She was just recently named the Torchbearer Award recipient for the University of Tennessee. And this award goes to those at the university, it goes to a senior who has served their alma mater with just overall excellence, with academic achievement, outstanding commitment to others with various student activities, and then contributions to the university and its community. And an interesting fact is not only did Riley West receive this award this year, Kiki Malloy was their recipient last year.
Oh, wow.
And speaking with Karen Weekly right before the game, she shared the interesting fact that it is not often that it goes back to athletes, because it is not only an award that's reserved for athletes, it's reserved for the whole entire student population. And so for her to have that honor is great. And another interesting fact about this Tennessee Vols softball team is it is the first time that this award has been given to 2 active players who have played on the same team as each other.
Wow.
So I think that just speaks volumes not only to who they are as athletes, but to who this team is as people.
Another payoff pitch stays high, and the Lady Vols have their first base runner. A good way to start the second inning for Tennessee. First walk given up by Jory Hurd. Yeah, tremendous involvement there by the Lady Vols off the field. All right, we'll get a pinch runner at first base now for West, as Katie Taylor, a junior, will take over there.
Taylor's one that we have seen in this lineup in the past. She was a starter for them last year, so we know she has the experience. So I'm sure that she is well prepared for this moment, well prepared for their offensive strategies of getting runners on, getting them over, and getting them in.
Yeah, she's 3 out of 4 stealing bases this year. As we told you earlier, Tennessee 3rd in the league in stealing bases with 40 coming into the weekend. Again, this is game 1. We started this series today. It's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday series instead of the usual Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sophia Nugent at the plate. She's the catcher. Nugent, a junior from Seal Beach, California, a transfer from Oklahoma. It's her first year at Tennessee. Foul territory. Jen Cummings is there, makes the grab, and there's the first out. So big first out. Taylor holds it first, and it brings up the shortstop, Laura Mueller. Mueller out of Chapel Hill, Tennessee, in her first season playing in Knoxville. She spent the last 2 years at Middle Tennessee State. where she was a first-team All-Conference USA selection. She actually led Middle Tennessee last year in hitting at .388. Also led them with 57 runs batted in. That led Conference USA and had 12 home runs. So as if Tennessee didn't have enough already on the roster with high batting averages and lots of power, they used the transfer portal very effectively to get a good one in Mueller. Mueller also led Conference USA last year with 20 stolen bases. So she's following in Kiki Malloy's footsteps with the power and the speed. Takes a strike here from Jory Hurd.
Absolutely. I think Tennessee's done a great job of using that transfer portal to benefit themselves. Not only have they seen Sophia Nugent come in and immediately find a spot in the lineup, and Mueller here find a spot in the lineup, but they also had Mackenzie Donahue last year who transferred from Oklahoma. So they're able to bring in people who are no stranger to success, whether that be with a winning team or with having awards like Mueller has and having that experience that she's brought from Middle Tennessee. So I just have to give a hats off to Weekly for her recruiting in that transfer portal.
Big strikeout here as Jory Hurd took something off it and got her swinging for the second out of the inning. It's the second strikeout of the day for Hurd as well. Nice job of pitching against a very good hitter in Mueller.
Absolutely. It's a great use of that off speed as well, trying to keep them off balance from going up and in to low and away and off speed.
Taylor Pennell swings and misses at the first pitch. She's the right fielder for Tennessee today. Pennell, a sophomore, native of Illinois, missed most of last year with an injury. But back this year where she's off to a good start, hitting .266. But quickly down 0-2 here. Pennell, a couple of home runs, 17 runs batted in. Popped up behind the plate. Julia Desiderio is there. And Jory Hurd does a nice job of working around a leadoff walk. She retires off against Carlin Pickens, who gave up the one run on a hit and a sac fly last inning. Black from Chauncey, Georgia, in her second season here in Columbia after transferring from Georgia.
Seeing a little bit of a defensive switch here for University of Tennessee.
All right.
Taylor in left field.
1-0 pitch off the plate. Hitters count here. Black last year just 1 for 9 against Tennessee. The one hit was a double. Comes up empty, had a big cut there. Black also trying to get out of a recent slump, 1 for her last 8. Carlin Pickens in the circles. We told you the 2-time SEC Pitcher of the Week the last couple of weeks.
We're seeing a little bit of an uncharacteristic start for Pickens, a little bit of a control issue. So I'm interested to see how she handles this the rest of the game. She's kept her head on her shoulders and she's remained composed, but it's not been her best start so far.
Battles back here to work the count full. Again, Pickens, the SEC Freshman of the Year last year, and off to a good start this year. She tossed her second career perfect game earlier this year against Loyola Marymount. That was back on February 24th. Payoff pitch to Anaya Black. Just got a piece of it. Pickens also has 5 games this year with 10 or more strikeouts, including a career best 14 against Central Florida. Some games her fielders must get bored.
Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing.
And that's a good thing there for Carlin Pickens. It's her first strikeout and the first out here in the second inning. One out, bases empty for the right fielder, Carly Henderson. Take another look at the strikeout pitch here. Tailing away a little bit.
It's a great pitch by Pickens in that count there. Close enough, but not too close.
Here's Henderson, the redshirt junior, missed most of last year with injury, but has bounced back nicely so far this year. And that one, chopper to short. Mueller is there, close play, but they got her. Henderson runs well, but a good throw by Laura Mueller, the shortstop. It kind of took a funny hop on her, but she stayed with it.
Absolutely,
and made the play.
That's just great control, a great play. Way to keep her head down, keep her glove on the ball, and to be able to make a good throw after taking the opposite direction.
Take another look at it here. Thought that was going to get through. And Henderson runs well, beats her by half a step. Here's Carly Shelton, the second baseman. Shelton, a freshman from Lexington, South Carolina, just up the road here. As we've told you before, graduated high school a year early so she could start her collegiate career, and has been inserted into the starting lineup most of the year.
I have to say, I love Pickens' aggressive mentality, starting right on the inside hands of a left-handed hitter. Some pitchers tend to avoid that and are afraid to throw into a lefty that's so tight like Shelton is, but I love that aggression, and that's something I love to do myself. So hats off to her for having the confidence and the control to be able to do that and just trust her stuff going into that.
Shelton hitting .218 on the year, 1 home run, 14 knocked in. Said trying to work in on the hands of the left-handed hitter. Didn't get the strike that time, but fearless.
Absolutely. Absolutely aggressive, going in on those hands with those elbows just right over that white line there.
3-1 pitch. Runs it full. Had a healthy cut. Two outs, bases empty here in the second. South Carolina leading at 1-0. Game one of this 3-game series. Payoff pitch. That was off of the foot of Carly Shelton.
Shelton is not getting cheated. She's having healthy cuts, strong cuts. She's swinging and meaning it, and then she's also advocating for herself, saying, that went off my foot.
Yep.
I'm not letting you call me out. That went off my foot.
Now Coach Karen Weekley out just to confirm what we all saw here. An inning alive for the Gamecocks. Another payoff pitch. Grounded right side. Rodriguez is there. Inning over. Nothing doing for the Gamecocks as Carlin Pickens sets him down. Wants to need Rodriguez to lead things off against the sophomore Jory Hurd.
And to have that kind of line at the concession stand, Brad, you know it's good.
Yeah, there you go.
You know the food is good.
The weather is comfortable. Cloudy day. Had a lot of rain yesterday, but it held off today. Hurd falls behind 2-0 to Rodriguez. Rodriguez out of Live Oak, Texas. And Hurd in danger of walking the leadoff for the second straight inning. She did that last inning, but was able to work around it and retire the next three, but not what you want to do here against this Tennessee lineup. There's a strike on the inner third. Up high, second walk allowed by Hurd today, and again, it's the second straight inning she has allowed a leadoff walk.
And with a powerful Tennessee lineup, Brad, this 8-9 spot is an area that you really can't afford to have free bases, because once you get back to that top, you have their top hitters coming up. You have Malloy coming up. You have McKenna Gibson. You have Riley West coming up. So Hurd really has to be able to focus in on that bottom half of the lineup to make sure that she's attacking them and getting her outs where she can.
Here's Julia Kutsoyanopoulos. Hitting in the 9 spot. Takes a strike here. Kutsoyanopoulos, a senior. Couple of home runs, 12 knocked in, but quickly behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Hitting .286 on the year. Her second year at Tennessee after starting her career with 2 years at Arizona. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout for Jory Hurd as she gets Kutsoyanopoulos on 3 pitches.
That is the response that Beverly Smith is looking for from her pitchers when they have given up a free base. Being able to come back and get that next out is huge instead of allowing a back-to-back come up and cost them.
Back to the top of the order now for Kiki Malloy, who popped out to first base to lead off the game. The All-American last year, hitting at .435, 9 home runs. Not a bad spot there by Jory Hurd, but ruled the ball. Change of speed, stays high. Rodriguez at first after a leadoff walk. Jory Hurd trying to work around that.
I love that Hurd is just biting on the edges of the plate, biting on the edges of the strike zone, trying not to give too much up for Malloy to hit, but also still trying to attack the count and attack the batter.
What a play by Jen Cummings. If she can find the softball, she does, and gets the second out. Knocked it down, runner advances to second, but she took away extra bases. So runner at second with 2 down for Zeta Pooney. Pooney flying to right back in the first inning. Watch this play again from Cummings. Just smothered it and kept it in front. And again, Cummings not the everyday first baseman. Spends more than half her time behind the plate. Made a good play there. Here's Pooney, first team All-SEC a year ago. Belted 14 home runs last year, hitting .363. Has 6 home runs so far this year. Grounded left side. That'll get through for a base hit. Runner around third. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. And Pooney takes second on the throw. We're tied at 1. Pooney gets the RBI, her 19th of the year. Good piece of hitting there with 2 outs, just past the outstretched glove of the shortstop Blankenship. It puts the go-ahead run in scoring position. Here's McKenna Gibson, the third baseman. She was a strikeout victim to end the first. Takes a strike here. Quickly Hurd way ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Tennessee last year 51-10, won the SEC regular season and tournament. 19-5 in league play last year, went to the Women's College World Series for the 8th time. That one misses low and in. That was the first 50-win season in program history, and with as much success as they had, that was something that surprised me a little bit, because with all the trips they've had deep into the postseason, they've
Absolutely.
had,
And with the regular season only being 52 games, having a 50-plus win season is absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, especially when you play in this league, when you're playing with when you have 7 or 8 teams that are ranked in the top 25 throughout most of the season. You know, the likes of the Floridas. And oh, by the way, it's not getting any easier next year.
No.
2-2 gets away. Going to try to move up, and they'll throw her out to complete the out at first base, and that'll end the frames. Gamecocks, 8-9-1, due up for the Gamecocks against Carlin Pickens, who's allowed 1 run on 1 hit, has 1 strikeout. Catcher Julia Desiderio to lead things off for the Gamecocks here. The junior out of Hudson, Florida. Getting the start behind the plate here, has also played some third base. Desiderio had a good game up at Clemson in the midweek win in that 12-inning game. Had a couple of hits that she needed badly. She had started the season, I think, 1 for 25, was just really struggling at the plate. Even when she struck it well, it was right at people, at least a lot of the games that we saw. And against Clemson, she was able to get 2 to drop, and see if that gives her a boost of confidence.
Absolutely. And in this bottom of the lineup here, what the Gamecocks are really trying to do is turn it back over to the top. You see Brooke Blankenship down here in the bottom, who's really worked every single count that she's been in. She's been aggressive. She's been a hard out. She's gotten some hits, scattered them all around the field, but she's really just done her job in trying to turn that lineup back over, be a little pesky down at the bottom, and try and get on base and make something happen, cause havoc on the defense.
Ball and 2 strikes on Desiderio now. Got her swinging. First out here in the third. Second strikeout for Carlin Pickens, who seemed to have settled in a little bit after struggling the first couple of batters in the first inning to find the zone, but she is retired 7 straight now. Brings up the shortstop, Brooke Blankenship, trying to turn the order over. And Brooke has been good in this 9 spot for South Carolina this year. A junior from Hudson, Florida, in her second season with the Gamecocks after transferring from Florida State. Hitting at .333 on the year. 4 doubles, 9 runs batted in.
I love that she's not only leading the team in walks and having that high, super high OBP, leading the team in OBP at 488 so far, but she's also got the second highest batting average on the team.
Yep.
You know, she's really doing her job down there. They're not asking her to do a ton and moving her all in the lineup. They're just asking her to turn that lineup back over. And she has really done that well so far this season.
His 20 walks are 8th in the SEC. Pickens paints the outer half of the plate, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. And this is what you're accustomed to seeing from Carlin Pickens now, working ahead of most of the hitters. That's what she's done the last couple of innings.
Absolutely.
Rounded right side. Kotsoinopoulos is there, and there's 2 away. Kotsoinopoulos started in left field, moved over to first base. Back to the top of the order now. Here's the third baseman, Denver Bryant, who had an infield single in the first inning for the Gamecocks. Moved to second on a wild pitch, and eventually scored on the sac fly from Jen Cummings for the Gamecocks' lone run. 2 outs, bases empty here. You know, the bad news for the rest of the SEC with a pitcher like Carlin Pickens, who was the SEC Freshman of the Year last year. Yeah, she's just a sophomore. See, you've got this year and 2 more years of that. We were talking about bad news, good news for the SEC next year with what's coming in. Texas and Oklahoma coming into the league next year to make an already great conference even better. Especially I mean, it's obviously going to be big for, the money sport, we'll call it football, but when you look at the diamond sports of baseball and especially softball with what Oklahoma has done recently and what Texas has done historically, that's quite a couple of additions to the softball conference.
Absolutely. An already competitive field in the SEC for softball is just becoming even more competitive. Two teams, two programs that are no strangers to success, and I'm sure they're looking to do more damage in the SEC.
Yep. When you think about an SEC with Vanderbilt currently the only team without softball, so 13 teams, and it is not uncommon for all 13 SEC teams to make the NCAA tournament, and now you're bringing in these other World Series caliber teams. It's going to make it really interesting.
Absolutely.
And that was a pitch clock violation there. Pickens and Nugent. Pickens called for time, but it was not granted by the home plate umpire.
The pitch clock is something we're seeing new this year in softball. It's been piloted in baseball so far, but now translating into softball, we're seeing the pitchers only have 20 seconds to deliver a pitch from when they receive the ball back or when the umpire calls play ball.
Pickens gets the strikeout anyway, her third of the game and second of the inning, her second straight 1-2-3 inning. Nothing doing for the Gamecocks. We've completed 3 here in Columbia. We're tied at 1 between the
mix and move in, staying around the 65, 66 area. And her job here, Brad, is really just to come in, eat up a couple of innings, try and throw them off with the mixing and moving, and pass the ball to somebody new.
Riley West to lead things off. She walked in the second inning to lead off the frame against Jory Hurd. Skies this one to right field. Carly Henderson is there, and there's one away. Closed the book on Jory Hurd, as we told you, was effective. 3 innings, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, struck out 4, walked 2. I think if you're Coach Bev Smith, you'll take that against this powerful Tennessee lineup.
Absolutely. And speaking with her before the game, she really told us that she was looking for her to have a strong opening like she did at Texas A&M, just to be able to go in there, work the ball up some, try and get some pop flies, try and get them off balance with a changeup. And she told us she's probably going to put Sage in at some point, try and use that mix and moving just to try and get the Tennessee hitters a completely different look than Hurd.
Here's Sophia Nugent, the catcher, 0 for 1, fouled out to the first baseman, Jen Cummings, back in the second inning. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Marjetko, the freshman, has been good. 5-2, 1.89 earned run average. This is her 18th appearance. She's tossed 63 innings, which is second on this staff. 68 strikeouts against 30 walks. Opponents hitting 159 against her, which is 5th in the SEC. Fisted foul. That one looked like it was going to come in and hit her.
Absolutely. I wonder if that was just a defensive swing trying not to get hit herself, or something she was truly trying to pull.
The South Carolina pitching staff has been pretty good this year so far. 4th in team earned run average, 8th in strikeouts, 2nd in opponent batting average. 0-2 pitch, got her swinging on 3 pitches. First strikeout for Marjetko, and the second out here in the 4th.
And I think staff is the correct word to describe them, Brad. They're bouncing off of each other. They're trying to mix and move with their different types of pitches, different types of speeds, different strengths, different weaknesses. And I think they're doing a great job so far this year of being able to mix from one pitcher to the next and try and make different things happen each time through the lineup.
Laura Mueller skies this one to right. Carly Henderson is there in a quick 1-2-3 inning for Sage Marjetko. And both teams have 1 run on 1 hit. Gamecock struck with a run in the first inning. Tennessee with a run in the third. Riley Blampede to lead things off. The center fielder's 0 for 1 after grounding out to second in the first inning. Blampede started her career as an infielder, played a lot of third base, moved to the outfield last year and has adjusted well to it. Grounded right side. Rodriguez bobbles, has time, and makes the throw. There's out number 1. Zeta Pooney back at first base. Pooney had exited as Kutsoyanopoulos took over there, but has since moved back out to left field where she started the game. Here's Jen Cummings. He was accounted for the Gamecocks' lone run on a sac fly to deep center field in the first inning. In the air in the gap into right center field. Look out, it is off the wall. Cummings around first. She will slide into second with a double. Well, Jen Cummings strokes her 4th double of the season, and after struggling in the early part of this season, the last couple of games, she is starting to find her swing and finding her power stroke as well.
Absolutely. Her confidence right now just must be soaring off the charts, having such a successful game against Clemson.
Yep.
And now having the sac fly that brought in the first and the only run for the Gamecocks so far, and now having that double. I can't imagine how high she's feeling off of that.
Yeah, the home run against Clemson was the first of the season for her. Then she had that, you mentioned the sac fly that she hit earlier. It was to deep center field, the deepest part of the park, and had a great swing there to get the double. Kai Ricks will run at second base for her. Runner in scoring position with 1 out for the left fielder, Kiana Jones. Jones 0 for 1. She flied out to right field to end the first inning.
And I think something that's been a game changer for Cummings has been for her to be able just to train all week at that high speed. Coach Smith was saying earlier today that they have had this extra practice day because the season or the series opener was on a Saturday, so they trained all week at such high speeds, and I think Jen has had that confidence coming into this series.
Well struck there by Kiana Jones, but a good play by Mueller, the shortstop, to gobble it up and retire Jones. Ricks, the pinch runner, moves to third on the play. That was a shot off the bat of Kiana Jones. But there's 2 outs now with the runner at third. And here's Anaya Black, the DP. She was a strikeout victim to lead off the second inning. But yeah, I can't imagine what looking at 73 off the machine looks like.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I guess the only good thing about knowing that it's coming, that usually the pitching machine is pretty true as to where it's going, so you're not worried about getting hit with that.
Yes, for sure.
I don't think I'd want to sit in against 73 from that distance. Black trying to get her bat going, just 1 for her last 9. Pickens way ahead. Got her swinging, took something off it. And the Gamecocks will leave a runner stranded at third as Carlin Pickens gets her 4th strikeout of the day. Nothing doing for the Gamecocks. Taylor Panel to lead things off against Sage Margetko in her 2nd inning of relief work. Margetko retired the side in order last inning in her 1st inning of work. A lot going on campus. Of course, you've got the 3-game series here with South Carolina and Tennessee. About a mile from here, you've got a 3-game series, an actual doubleheader today with baseballs, with South Carolina hosting Vanderbilt. This one grounded foul past the bag at third. And then March Madness is here in Columbia as the South Carolina women's basketball team is hosting the 1st and 2nd rounds. Gamecock women's basketball team, SEC champs, won their 1st round game yesterday over Presbyterian. They'll play North Carolina here tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock in the 2nd round.
And Kreger track right past the left field wall was absolutely packed out at the beginning of the game.
And this one sent to deep center field. Blampede goes back, makes the grab up against the wall. Wow. Panel flirted with the long ball, but the park held it. if there was a little bit of a breeze, it might have been out on Kreger track. But Blampede is there up against the wall for a loud out number 1. Brings up the second baseman, Destiny Rodriguez. Take strike 1. Rodriguez walked and her pinch runner, or no, it wasn't lifted for pinch runner, but she walked and scored the run for Tennessee in the 3rd inning. It was a leadoff walk by Jory Hurd. Infield back, outfield straight up.
And something we're seeing with Tennessee's lineup here so far and the way that they're setting up in the box, they seem to be setting up a ton in the middle to the back of the box. And I think that's because they are trying to take away that breaking movement that they're seeing from both Hurd and Margetko. They're able to get a couple more calls to go their way because the ball is able to break a little bit more and get a little further off the plate, but they're also able to make sure that it's in their zone and they're not swinging at something that's going to break away from them once it gets to them. I'm loving this adjustment that I'm seeing, and I think this is a huge strategy they've been working on all week to try and prepare for these South Carolina pitchers.
Hit foul down the right field line. Yeah, so as a pitcher, as yourself a pitcher, when you see that, if they're consistently making that adjustment, does that change what you want to throw, or is it just a matter of hitting your spots?
I don't know that it necessarily changes what you want to throw. I think it changes how you want to throw it because it forces you to throw through the zone a little bit more. It forces some of your dropping pitches, some of your late breaking pitches to really make it all the way through before they're able to break. Because it's, yes, the strike zone is as it crosses the plate, but if they're not swinging at it, and an SEC strike zone is a little bit tighter than your typical strike zone. So as a pitcher, you really have to make sure it's getting across the plate, making sure the break's not too much so that it's catching the plate at the very, very back corner, and you're going to get some swings hopefully still too.
Yeah, a long foul ball there, but just a foul ball. But the last two hitters have gotten some good rips in here on Sage Margetko. The 2-2. Able to stay alive. Some warm-up work in the South Carolina bullpen as it's all hands on deck today and throughout the series, as you might expect, as Elena Vaughter is throwing.
Something South Carolina has historically done is use their pitchers as a staff and really try and go inning to inning, one time through the lineup, through the next time through the lineup, trying to give them a different look every time so they can't catch a hold of what South Carolina's pitchers are doing.
And Vaughter pitched all 12 innings of that win at Clemson on Wednesday through over 150 pitches. Good at bat here with Rodriguez facing Margetko. Fouls off another one. This is tremendous right now as Margetko's gone out, she's gone back in, and Rodriguez continues to spoil the pitches.
It's just an absolute battle that Rodriguez is putting on against Margetko here.
Infield back. One out, nobody on. Tie game here in the fifth.
Great effort on both sides there. I love the idea to go down and away for that changeup there by Margetko, but also for Rodriguez to be able to hold off on that pitch is huge to allow her to get to this 3-2 count.
Margetko looks in, and the payoff pitch to Destiny Rodriguez. Just foul past the bag at third. Denver Bryant helping out the umpires there at third base.
I love the South Carolina mentality of, hey, we're going to show you that it's foul, just like Carly Shelton earlier in the game. Hey, that hit my foot. We're not letting a call get called incorrectly on us.
(3-2) in through the left field for a base hit. What a battle there by Rodriguez. She earned that base hit, just the second of the night for Tennessee. And she's reached twice now after the walk in the second inning. Terrific at-bat there for Rodriguez, and they'll get a pinch runner for her.
Now the scoreboard's even all the way. 1 run for each team, 2 hits for both teams.
And the pinch runner is Amanda Allen, a sophomore from right here in Bamberg, South Carolina, not far. So runner at first with 1 out. And the left fielder, Julia Kutsoyanopoulos, at the plate, a strikeout victim in the third inning.
With Julia Desiderio, both spelled the same way behind the plate.
Yep, both the young ladies there in your frame. Julia, spell it Giulia. I'd never seen that before.
Me
until
either.
We saw Julia Desiderio here, and now with Kutsoyanopoulos. I have to admit, when I write it down, I write it with the J just so I remember how to pronounce it.
Write it phonetically so you can pronounce it correctly.
Yep, broadcaster tip there. Margetko falls behind, and getting to be a tough spot here. You got 1 on with 1 out, and falling behind a good hitter here in the 9-hole. It doesn't get any easier when you get back to the top of the order with the All-American Kiki Malloy on deck.
I think this lineup clearly has all sorts of depth, 1 to 9, and they're able just to work any count that they want to. They're able to hit anything they want to. They can bunt, they can run, they can do it all. So I have to give Tennessee's coaches a hats off for just making an extremely tough lineup to go up against for any pitcher.
2-1. Soft line drive caught by Blankenship. Throw back to first, double play to end the inning. Brooke Blanket to lead things off. She is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short in the second inning.
And I just have to give a hats off to that team manager that was just catching Pickens at a solid 70-plus miles an hour. The bravery that it takes to get behind the plate with that.
He had the helmet on, though, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're not
he needed that helmet on. I'm surprised he wasn't in full gear.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need the full gear when you're warming up somebody throwing 70.
I cannot say I would be anywhere near the top of that volunteer list.
Here's Henderson, 0 for 1 as we told you. They bring the corners in. Outfield is center fielder Malloy shaded towards left center. Slaps this one up the first baseline. Pooney is there and steps on the bag. 1 pitch and 1 away in the Gamecock fifth. So good start for Pickens and the Lady Vols. And it brings up Carly Shelton, the second baseman for the Gamecocks. She's 0 for 1, a ground out to second to end the second inning. Shelton trying to get her bat going, just 2 for her last 18. Pickens falls behind here. Pickens has been good. 4 strikeouts. Hasn't walked anybody. He's given up just the 2 hits. A sac fly brought in a run for the Gamecocks in the first inning after a leadoff infield single. 2-0 pitch, grounded to Rodriguez at second. She has been a vacuum over there.
Absolutely.
And there's 2 away quickly here in the fifth.
This is the Pickens settling in, locking down, having these great results that we have seen all year long. And it's been great to see her transition from that first inning where she kind of had a little bit of shaken up, a little bit of loss of control, and now she's really locked in and attacking these hitters and getting these ground ball outs for her defense.
Here's the catcher, Julia Desiderio, a strikeout victim to start the third. Takes a strike here. 2 outs, bases empty in a 1-1 game. And Pickens getting a lot of ground ball outs in addition to the 4 strikeouts. There's been only 2 flyouts. One of them was the sac fly, and both of them were in the first inning. So she's settled down and getting the ground outs that she normally gets.
Seeing a smile from Pickens there as she did not get a call that she wanted. And I have to say, as a pitcher, I want that call, especially on an off-speed pitch. One that was right over the plate, really good height. That's something that you're fighting for and you're wanting your catcher to fight for.
Gibson makes the play at third, but they'll call it a foul ball. The ball was dropped, and Desiderio would have been safe, but I believe they called it a foul ball, did they not?
They did.
Yep. Yeah.
Home plate umpire immediately called it foul as soon as the third baseman called it.
Yep. So Desiderio will have to try it again. Good spot, but off the plate. 2-2.
It is a great spot for a pitch like that. Trying to see if you can get Julia on the edge of her toes, trying to swing at something, trying to do something in a 1-2 count. Great battle by both of them.
Did she go? They say she did not.
Even if she did not go, I thought that pitch would be a great strike-free pitch. I feel like I'm on the same page as Pickens here. This strike zone has been tight for her all game, but she is battling through and really bowing her neck on those pitches.
Payoff pitch to Julia Desiderio. We'll have another one.
I have to say, I feel like I am hard on umpires sometimes as a pitcher. However, being on the other side of the game now, my dad has started umpiring in the collegiate realm. So it's been interesting to see the perspective of umpires versus players and understand the backlash that they get a ton from bystanders, from athletes, from coaches, and understanding what they go through behind the plate in the field and what it takes to be an umpire has been really cool to learn.
Yeah, 50% of the crowd thinks you're wrong on every pitch. Right?
Absolutely.
It is a tough job. Another 3-2 to Desiderio, and that off of Desiderio's foot or ankle, and she's going to have to walk that off. As if catchers don't take enough of a beating behind the plate. See where this one gets her. Right out. Ooh, the inside of the knee, perhaps? Ouch. Oh, yeah. That's going to sting a little bit. She's smiling about it, but yeah, she's smiling, but it hurts. You could tell.
Julia is no stranger to bruises. During my time with her, playing with her, she had bruises all over the place from just blocking balls, doing everything she can to keep the ball in front of her. So I just respect to her for being able to do whatever she can to work for her pitchers and also taking it from the plate, from the hitting side as well.
That just hurt to watch right above the knee there. Pickens will deal another 3-2 pitch. Hit in the air to center field. Malloy is there, and that'll end the frame as the Gamecocks are retired in order here in the 5th. We're still tied at 1 as we move to the 6th here in Columbia.
Switch from one confusing name to another.
Kiki Malloy to lead things off for Tennessee as the Lady Vols will have the top of the order due up against Sage Margetko, the freshman in her 3rd inning of relief work, and Julia Desiderio having all kinds of trouble getting that ball back to the pitcher.
Poor gal gets hit on the last inning, really struggles to take that one, and then just has to chase the ball right behind her again.
Malloy 0 for 2, pop up and a ground out, both to first base. Malloy, as we told you, outstanding numbers, average, power, speed. If Jurassic Park was correct, she would be the velociraptor of dinosaurs. She's powerful, she's got speed, she can do it all. Hitting .430 on the year, 9 home runs, 19 stolen bases. Hammers that one foul, goodness.
Malloy did not like that last pitch got called to strike on her, and she wanted to go for it, so that next swing she came back with a vengeance.
Well, Margetko in her 3rd inning of work has given up just 1 hit, but they've had some good swings against her, but haven't timed it right as of yet. 0-2 pitch. Popped up behind the plate. That'll get out of play.
I think these last 2 at-bats that we've seen out of Malloy in this game, I think she's gotten cheated on her swings. You know, I really don't think she's gotten her best swing off on these Gamecock pitchers, so I think this at-bat she's really trying to focus in, get a pitch that she's comfortable with, but still battle with an 0-2 count and do her best work here.
Didn't chase that one just off the plate. Yep. Gamecocks couldn't keep Malloy off the base paths last year. Well, nobody could with what she did last year, but she was 4 for 9 with 6 walks against the Gamecocks in the 3 games in Knoxville last year. Got her swinging. Big punch out by Sage Margetko to start the 6th. Yeah, go ahead and ooh on that one because Kiki Malloy doesn't do that often.
No, that is not something you see her do often. So I have to give a hats off to Margetko and Hurd so far in this game for being able to keep her off balance, keep her off the bases, and not allowing her to do any damage in this game so far. 2nd
strikeout for Margetko. Brings up Zeta Pooney, the first baseman. Pooney fly to right in the 1st inning. He had a single to drive in Tennessee's lone run in the 3rd inning. Popped up behind the plate. That'll get out of play. Got the inside corner there. And even if Pooney swings, I don't think she can do anything with that pitch.
Absolutely. I think Marjetko's doing a great job of really just getting barely crossing that plate there and just painting the edge of the strike zone so that she's not giving way too much up to these powerful Tennessee hitters. Another great pitch by Marjetko on that 1-2 count.
Pooney with a lot of punch in her lineup, 6 home runs as well. That's the tough thing, again, with Tennessee, as we told you, with all the home runs, second in the SEC in home runs, and there's just not a lot of, there's not dead spots in their lineup when it comes to power.
I think the South Carolina pitching staff so far has done a really great job of allowing Tennessee to get themselves out, trying to swing at stuff that's right on the edges, probably not the best pitches for them to hit, and ultimately having weak contact and pop flies and ground balls, getting them their own selves out instead of trying to do too much on the mound.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Zeta Pooney. A senior from Carson, California, a transfer from Oklahoma in her second year at Tennessee. Chopper left side. Denver Bryant couldn't field it cleanly, and the Lady Vols get a base runner. And late in the game, that could be big. Misplayed there by Bryant, trying to cut it off, stepping in front of Blankenship. Runner aboard now with 1 down for McKenna Gibson. They'll get a pinch runner for Pooney as Jackie Kirkpatrick, a sophomore, will run. So Kirkpatrick at first, McKenna Gibson at the plate. Kirkpatrick 1 for 1 stealing bases this year. Gibson, a .387 hitter, 4 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Officially scored a hit, I believe, for Pooney.
I think Pooney's done a really nice job these last 2 at-bats of finding a pitch that she can hit, even if it's on the edge, and just going with it. She has 2 out of their 3 hits of the game, so I think she's had a really quality day against these South Carolina pitchers.
Bounces up there, runner away from the bag, but able to get back as Kirkpatrick almost wandered a little too far off the bag. Well, that would be a lonely feeling. Come off the bench to run, and that would be a long walk back.
I think she had a little bit of hesitation because typically you're going to see those runners go when the ball is in the dirt. Anytime there's an off-speed pitch and it's skipping to the catcher, you'll see runners try and run a lot on that. But I think she hesitated a little bit too much after that and didn't know what to do. So her immediate reaction was to go back to the bag. And I have to kind of agree with her on that one. With Desiderio's arm behind the plate, she guns it down to second base, you know, so she was likely to probably get it there just in time or right after the fact. So I think it was probably a good call on her to go back to the bag.
Marjetko deals 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second out in the inning, 3rd strikeout for Sage Marjetko. And a big punch out there. Brings up Riley West, the designated player. He walked and flied to right. 0 for 1 today. 400 hitter with some pop in the bat as well. 7 home runs. Taken for a strike.
That is a pitch right there, right over the plate that I am thinking my lucky stars that a 4-hole hitter is not going for in such a powerful lineup.
Snap throw to first, runner back safely. Yeah, and West with the 4 home runs and 26, or rather 19 batted in. She's not an everyday player. She has started 19 games coming into the day, but it doesn't start every game. So she's played in 8 less games than a lot of the folks that start every game, but still among the team leaders. That's how deep this Tennessee team is when you have someone like Riley West batting over 400 who's not your everyday
Absolutely.
in the lineup. They have good problems filling out their lineup card in Knoxville. 2-1 pitch. Marjecko fields her position nicely, inning over. They work around the base hit, nothing doing. At bats, a 143 average. Trying to work her way back from injury. She was a first-team All-SEC selection as a freshman when she hit 308 and drove in 28 runs, but then had some injuries. Was redshirted in 2022. Wasn't quite 100% last year for A&M. Didn't play much and opted to go for a change of scenery. I'm hoping she can find that swing that made her a first-team all-conference selection a few years back. Carlin Pickens has been outstanding in the circle for Tennessee. Deals a strike here. She's struck out 4. Allowed just 2 hits. Hasn't walked anybody. Tried to check her swing. It's ruled a strike.
Again, Pickens going in super tight on these left-handed hitters, not willing to back down, not giving in on that inside corner, and battling, doing whatever she can to get a strike on that inside corner. That is just courage. That is bravery. That's the name of her game so far, and she has been excellent at that.
Down low, runs the count full. You know, you always talk about how hard it is to come off the bench late in the game as a pinch hitter after you've been sitting for a couple of hours, but gosh, how hard is it to come in against a pitcher like this, Carlin Pickens?
And so far, we've seen Pickens go into 5 counts with 3 balls, and she has made it out of every single one of them without giving up a walk. That is absolutely outstanding control by Pickens, and just a great effort all around.
Gets the strikeout there, her 5th of the game, and the first out here in the 6th. One more look back to the top of the order for Denver Bryant. Gamecock third baseman has one of the 2 hits for the Gamecocks tonight. It was an infield single way back in the first inning. She came around to score on the sac fly from Jen Cummings. And she struck out to end the 3rd inning. She'll take a strike here. Carlin Pickens doesn't give you too many opportunities to beat her. Again, just 2 hits surrendered today. Run the Gamecocks got off of her in the first inning ended a long streak for Pickens. She hadn't given up a run in her last 9 appearances over 46 innings prior to that.
And having those kind of stats as a pitcher going into this game, I'm sure that the South Carolina lineup is probably like, how are we going to manufacture a run? And for them to be able to come out in the first inning and manufacture a run at the top, that's outstanding. That just shows the aggression, their preparation, what they have been buying into mindset-wise to be able to really go out, attack, get a pitch for themselves, and be able to score a run off of a great pitcher in Carlin Pickens.
Pickens falls behind. And another full count. Pickens, SEC Freshman of the Year a year ago. Putting up great numbers in year 2 as well. Payoff pitch to Denver Bryant. Got her swinging, back-to-back strikeouts to start the 6th, and she's getting better as the game goes on. That is her 6th strikeout, and it's the first time she's struck out more than one batter in an inning today.
And that is also the 6th time that she has worked to a 3-ball count and worked out of it.
Yep. That's confidence in knowing you can bounce back.
Absolutely.
So quickly 2 down on the Gamecock 6th. Here's the center fielder Riley Blampied. She's grounded out twice to second today. Takes a strike here. quickly. 0-2 to Riley Blampede. Trying to set down the Gamecocks in order for the fourth time today. 0-2 pitch up high. Got her swinging. She strikes out the side. 1-2-3 go the Gamecocks here in the sixth. And Carlin Pickens dealing here in Columbia. Time is called as South Carolina catcher Julia Desiderio had to adjust the earpiece that they relay the signals in now.
And that has been a new addition that we've seen so far this year in softball is the new arm cards that are being able to call pitches.
This one blasted to center field. It's off the top of the wall. It's going to be extra bases for Sophia Nugent. And Tennessee in business here with a leadoff double. It's their fourth hit of the day and their first extra base hit. And just when they needed it, they get a runner in scoring position with nobody out. That one was almost a home run.
And this could be the momentum shift that we are seeing here in this game. Late in the game, tied ball game, great battle by both teams so far. All they need is that one timely hit, two timely hits strung together, just something to make something happen on the defensive side to try and cause havoc, make something happen for the offense, try and score a run, push it to where they can hold the Gamecocks in this next inning. It's a great first at-bat by Nugent there.
Laura Miller at the plate, the shortstop, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. It's her second time seeing Sage Margette go. Fouls that one into the seats. For Nugent, that was her fifth double of the year. And it was maybe a foot away from being her fifth home run of the year as that hit off the red line at the top of the fence there, or near the top of the fence. "0-2, we'll do it again. Gamecocks started the scoring with a run in the first inning on a sac fly by Jen Cummings to score Denver Bryant. Tennessee got their run in the third inning as Destiny Rodriguez led off the inning with a walk, scored on the base hit by Zeta Pooney. 0-2 again to Miller, rolled foul, we'll do it again. Got her swinging. Big punch out there for Sage Margetko. It's her fourth strikeout since coming in the fourth inning, and it's the first out here in the seventh.
That's such a great answer back from Margetko to go from giving up a long double to being able to come back and get that strikeout. That's huge for a freshman to be able to do in such a pivotal moment in this game.
Here's Taylor Pennell, the right fielder, 0 for 2. Foul pop out and a fly to center. Skies this one, foul territory. Denver Bryant gives chase and makes the grab. And suddenly there's two out in the seventh after the leadoff double. Margetko trying to work out of the jam here. And it brings up the second baseman, Destiny Rodriguez, who's been very good at the plate today. Walked in the third inning to lead off the inning, scored their lone run, and then had a single through the left side in the fifth inning. That was against Margetko, the single. Go-ahead run at second with two down here in the seventh. And in case you were wondering why Tennessee maybe didn't opt for the sacrifice after the leadoff double, that's not what they do. They are last in the SEC in sacrifice hits, only 3 on the season. They've got enough punch in their lineup where they're going for the hit with the runner in scoring position.
They know what they're good at, and they own it.
Absolutely.
They don't try and stray from their strategy. They don't try and stray from their strength. They are good at putting the ball in play with some pop, and they are going to live and die by that sword.
1-1 to Rodriguez. Changeup drops in for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes here. Didn't chase. Fans living and dying on every pitch. You gotta love it.
The crowd is not happy with that call, but I think it was the right one. That was a tad on the outside part of the plate, but a great effort by Marjetko. You have to love the fans getting behind their pitcher in this situation.
2-2. Nugent led off the inning with a double to right. She's at second base now with 2 outs. Another 2-2 pitch due Destiny Rodriguez. Desiderio does a good job to keep it in front, runs the count full.
Absolutely. As we were talking about earlier, Julia is one that will take a beating behind the plate to keep the ball in front of her, to keep the runners where they're at and not allow them to steal that, to grab that next base in front of them.
Payoff pitch, grounded right side. Shelton is there, throws to first, and that'll end the inning. She seems to be getting better as the game goes.
Absolutely. But I think, I have to comment on the fact that this South Carolina Gamecocks team is really making sure that they are giving their best effort. They are competing hard.
Absolutely.
And I think that's carried over from the Clemson game. And something Coach Smith said before this game is that she just wants her athletes to allow this game to be played, to let it happen the way that it's supposed to happen. The game doesn't know who's going to win, and she just told them to go out there and compete. And I think they've done a great job of that so far tonight.
Jen Cummings to lead things off, takes a strike here. She's been productive, had the sac fly to drive in the Gamecocks' lone run in the first inning, doubled in the fourth inning, and her pinch runner was left stranded at third. But yeah, talk about competing. Last half inning, Tennessee got a leadoff double, and then Sage Marjetko got the next 3 out to prevent the go-ahead run from scoring. Carlin Pickens, ball and 2 strikes on Jen Cummings now.
And I guarantee Pickens here right before this inning happened has gone back and looked at what she's thrown Cummings in these last 2 at-bats to understand what Cummings has hit, how not to throw her in this count, and how to mix and move a little bit more to keep her off balance and not allow her to produce anything in this inning here.
Cummings just gets a piece of it to stay alive, getting a little warm-up work in the Tennessee bullpen now. In case we go to extras, Gamecocks played 12 innings on Wednesday in their win at Clemson. Cummings, one of the heroes in that game. 1-2 pitch, and we'll do another one.
I also love that despite Cummins being such a hot bat right now for the South Carolina Gamecocks, Pickens is not shying away from anything. She's going straight at her. She's trying to get this first out in the 7th inning, not letting anything too big happen, and just attacking the zone here.
Another 1-2 to Jen Cummings. Down low. Two, just foul. Again, when we were talking with Coach Bev Smith of South Carolina before the game and asking about Carlin Pickens and what she throws, and she just said gas, gas, gas.
At least they know what they're getting into,
Yep.
and they've been able to put that into training all week, having their machines gassed up to 73 miles an hour, trying to get their hitters prepared for moments like this when they're just trying to do anything they can to score a run.
There's some more gas. It's another strikeout. It's her 8th of the game and 4th consecutive strikeout after striking out the side last inning.
That was a great battle by Cummins there. That was 8 pitches that she saw. That was only 2 balls in that count, so she battled off 6 pitches total against Pickens. And so just hats off to her for her productivity today in the game so far.
Here's Kiana Jones, the left fielder. 0 for 2, a fly to right and a grounder to short. 1-1 game here in the 7th. This is game 1 of the series. Saturday, Sunday, Monday for this series. tardy on that fastball. A ball and a strike.
Something that Coach Bev Smith told us before the game is that their hitting coach Epstein has really been talking about trying to make sure that their hitters are getting cuts on their type of pitches, making sure they're not expanding the zone to something that they don't want to swing at, but really getting good cuts on balls that they know they can hit well. So I think that's super important right now for the Gamecocks, is to not only get afraid of that high speed that Pickens is putting in there, but to really find a pitch that they're confident in and get a good hack off of.
Carlin Pickens fielding her position well there, gets the second out. And while the pinch hitter in the 5 spot for Anaya Black, who struck out twice against Pickens, and Zoe Leno has grabbed a bat. So Leno making her first appearance of the series. The senior from Marietta, Georgia. Hitting just 129 on the year, 4 hits and 31 at-bats, has 1 double. No home runs, 5 runs batted in. Leno last year against Tennessee, 3 for 12 with a triple and a walk. Nips the outside corner there. Off the plate there. It's already been a good day on the diamond here in Columbia. In one respect, South Carolina baseball just swept a doubleheader from third-ranked Vanderbilt, taking the second game of that doubleheader 8-3 after winning the first game 8-4. Swing and a miss, strike 2, and Carlin Pickens 1 strike away from sending this game to extras.
1 strike away from having the past 2 innings handled by her alone.
Yeah, exactly. Struck out the side last inning, a strikeout this inning, and then fielded the ground out a moment ago. 1-2 to Leno. Got her swinging. Another strikeout. She struck out 5 of the last 6, gives her 9 impetus to lead things off against Sage Margetko, who came in the 4th inning in relief of Jory Hurd. Hurd went the first 3 innings, gave up just the 1 run on 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. And Margetko has obviously done well. No runs on just 3 hits, 4 strikeouts. A strike here to start the 8th inning.
And getting a little bit of a different look from the Tennessee lineup here as Kutsoyanopoulos kind of squares around for a bunt there.
Yep. Kutsoyanopoulos hitting at 276 now after going 0 for 2 tonight. Strikeout victim in the 3rd inning, then lined into a 6-3 double play to end the 5th. Last inning was huge as Tennessee had a leadoff double, but Margetko retired the next 3 to get out of the jam. Now time is called as Kutsoyanopoulos couldn't settle in.
I think you see a lot more hitters and pitchers both calling time in these situations with the new pitch clock being in effect and only having 20 seconds to deliver a pitch from when the umpire says play ball or when the pitcher receives the ball back. It's forcing hitters to really get in the box a lot more quick, and having to get in there in 10 seconds so the pitcher can get on the mound and deliver the next pitch is something that's really sped this game up so far.
Yeah, that's something when we were talking with Coach Bev Smith before the game, she talked about it's not just the pitch clock, it is a hitter's clock because they have to be in there at the 10-second mark as well, or else they get a strike against them. 2-2 pitch, hammered foul. Another good battle here between Margetko and Kutsoyanopoulos. Popped up right side. Carly Shelton is there, and there's 1 away. Back to the top of the order now. And it brings up Kiki Malloy, the All-American center fielder, who's 0 for 3. A pop-up, a ground out, and a strikeout. The average way down to 425 now.
Oh, good Lord.
9 home
That's
runs.
concerning.
Yeah, 9 home runs and takes a strike down the middle here.
That's something to say for the Gamecocks, being able to keep her off of the bases for 3 at-bats now.
This one lifted into left field. Kiana Jones got a late start, but she's there straddling the line for a big second out. So 2 outs, base is empty for the first baseman, Zeta Pooney. Pooney's had a good day, 2 for 3. Couple of singles, a run batted in, and a fly to right. She had the RBI single in the 3rd inning, singled again in the 6th.
She's responsible for half their hits on the day, so we're looking for her to be extremely productive in her at-bats. Not only getting good swings off of good pitches, but making sure that she has a really good eye at the plate and not taking any of her pitches for granted and not swinging at something that she's not going to go hard for.
Pooney hitting at .262. 6 home runs, 19 runs batted in.
I think her average is a little bit deceptive of the power that she packs at the plate.
She was a first-team All-SEC selection last year, hit .363 with 14 long ones and 60 runs batted in. As we told you earlier, in her 2nd year playing in Knoxville after her freshman year at Oklahoma. Sage Margetko, the freshman in the circle for the Gamecocks, the Illinois native. Lifted into left field. Kiana Jones is there. And there's a 1-2-3 8th inning for Sage Margetko and the Gamecocks. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We're still tied at 1.
Times now with 3 ball counts, and she's still so efficient to 12 to 13 pitches an inning. That is just awesome on her defense, on her to be able to be aware of how many pitches she needs to throw in each inning, not throwing too much, not trying to do too much, and staying in her zone, staying with her strengths, and trying to mow these hitters down as efficiently as she can.
She's retired 11 straight since that double by Jen Cummings in the 4th inning. Here's Carly Henderson, the right fielder, 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. Infield comes in for her. She squares and takes a strike. Pooney and Gibson in at the corners. Swinging this time, sends a one-hopper to Mueller at short. 1 away. One down for the second baseman, Carly Shelton, who's grounded out to her counterpart at second base twice tonight, 0 for 2. Arlen Pickens just hasn't made many mistakes tonight.
Not at all, and her mistakes came early, so her team had all 7 innings to really battle back, and after she's not given up anything since the first, her team has been able to settle in behind her. She's been able to settle down on the mound and give it her best shot, stay true to herself, stay true to her game, and just mow these South Carolina hitters down 12 in a row now.
Swing and a miss. Shelton, the freshman out of Lexington, South Carolina. Comes from a pretty athletic family. Father played baseball at Charlotte. Mom played softball at Charlotte. Brother plays baseball at Florida. Her sister plays softball at Colgate. This one up the middle. Rodriguez backhand slide. Not in time, and Shelton beats it out for an infield single. It's the 3rd time she had tested her counterpart Rodriguez at second base, who made an outstanding play, and Shelton just legged it out. Of the Gamecocks' 3 hits, 2 of them are infield singles. And we're going to get a pinch hitter in the 8th spot for Julia Desiderio. Marissa Gonzalez has grabbed a bat, the junior from Kingsburg, California. Gonzalez, 7 hits in 43 at-bats, a 163 average. Of her 7 hits, 3 are doubles, and she's got 4 knocked in. Gonzalez last year in the 3 games against Tennessee and Knoxville was 3 for 12, but of her 3 hits, 2 of them were doubles. The other, the home run. So it was all or nothing for Gonzalez. Runner at first with 1 down. Tennessee brings the corners in. It looks like we're going to get a pinch runner at first base for Carly Shelton now, as Emma Sellers has come out of the dugout, the junior from Lakewood, California. Sellers takes over there. Gonzalez deep in that right-handed hitter's box. Corners in for Tennessee. Fastball taken for a strike. Talk about gas. We're in the 8th inning, and she hasn't lost any velocity.
No, yeah. She is still humming it in there. I love that that is her strength, and that's something that she can always rely on. But I love that Coach Weekly today also said that she doesn't just have to rely on her speed anymore. She's able to trust herself and her consistency to power through these games. So, yes, she has that speed in her corner, but that is not the only thing that is making her so great this year.
Just waiting to see the catcher Nugent say, ow, after a fastball. 2-1 from Pickens. Swing and a miss. Two up high. Sellers the pinch runner at first with 1 down. Tie game here in the bottom of the 8th. The payoff pitch to Gonzalez. Just foul past the bag at third.
It's a great battle by Gonzalez to be able to come up off the bench, probably cold from the whole game so far. We're in the 8th inning. Tough situation, tight game. Just to be able to stay in this battle with Carlin Pickens, stay in on that speed, stay locked in, and be able to battle off these hard fastballs coming in on her hands.
Another 3-2 pitch to Marissa Gonzalez. Hit down the right field line, curving foul. Another good battle here, as you talked about.
Heading into her 8th pitch of this at-bat right now. Something that a lot of teams trying to find is a quality at-bat and what that looks like. And I know for these South Carolina hitters, getting to 8 pitches in at-bat is something that qualifies them for a QAB.
Yes.
And so being able to do that off of Pickens and stay in this battle is huge for this Gamecock team in such a late game.
Chopper to third. Gibson throws to first. They get the out there. Sellers moves to second on the play. So the potential winning run is at second base, but 2 outs now. And the 9-hole hitter, Brooke Blankenship, at the plate, 0 for 1. She was lifted for a pinch hitter last time, but re-entered. She grounded out to first back in the 3rd inning.
And reminder here, though she's in the 9-hole, Blankenship has the 2nd highest average on this South Carolina team. And she's been extremely productive. She has a great on-base percentage, sitting at .481, and that is super impressive. She knows what a good pitch is. She knows how to swing at a good pitch, and she's not going to swing at something where she's going to get cheated.
Looks at a ball inside here. Runner at second, 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Pickens deals to Brooke Blankenship. Strike taken, and it's even now.
And something we saw with the Tennessee lineup that the South Carolina Gamecocks are also doing is they're starting in the back of the box. Though I think they have different reasoning for starting in the back of the box, South Carolina's hitters are probably starting towards the back so that they can have a little bit more time, a little bit more reaction time on such hard pitching from Pickens.
Slow roller to Gibson, and they get the out there, and that'll send us to the 9th inning. Gamecocks get a runner to second, couldn't get her home. Still tied at 1. We're heading to the 9th here in Columbia.
And not bow down to these Tennessee hitters, not bow down to this extremely powerful lineup, keeping these Gamecocks in the game, allowing them to come back into the dugout and try and get on the board to win this game. She's doing an outstanding job so far.
McKenna Gibson, the third baseman, to lead things off. 0 for 3 with the hat trick. She struck out 3 times. Had a healthy cut, but came up empty there. Dangerous hitter at .383, 4 home runs on the year, and 26 runs batted in. Gibson, first team All-SEC a year ago. Takes strike 2 here, and Marjetko way ahead.
Something Coach Weekly was talking about ahead of this game was that she knew coming into this that she would face some tough Carolina pitchers here.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th time Gibson is struck out. She gets the golden sombrero, and it's the 5th strikeout for Sage Marjetko. Good start to the 9th.
And Coach Weekly's message to her girls before this game was to have quality at-bats, to value each and every at-bat and not try and let it slip away from you. So I have to give a hats off to Sage and to Jory Hurd for coming into this game and not letting those Tennessee hitters take advantage of them, not letting any pitches get away from them that are going to make them pay, and to really making sure, keeping those Tennessee Vols accountable for each and every at-bat that they've taken so far.
Here's Riley West, the DP, 0 for 2 with a walk today. .393 hitter, 7 home runs, 19 runs batted in. And Marjetko falls behind here, 2 balls and no strikes. Gamecocks scored their lone run way back in the 1st inning, and Tennessee tied it with a run in the top of the 3rd. We're in the 9th now. The score is the same. Over but low, but Marjetko falls behind 3-0 for one of the few times. Marjetko has allowed 3 hits so far, has not walked anybody, but in danger of doing that here. There's a strike. West taking all the way. .3-1 from the freshman down low. It's her first walk, and Tennessee's got a base runner with 1 out. Second time West has drawn a walk today. In fact, the 3rd walk given up by South Carolina pitchers today, 2 by Jory Hurd, the starter.
And that's something Coach Smith really talked about ahead of this game, was that her pitchers needed to control the free bases they gave to the Tennessee lineup, making sure that each and every time that one of their hitters come up, that they are earning everything that they can. Because giving up these free bases on such a powerful team, if they get a hold of one, that's 2 runs instead of 1, so being able to control that in this game has been super important, and I think they overall have done a great job. I'm hoping to see here Marjetko continue to manage the way she has, use that same resilience she showed last weekend when she struggled in the beginning of her game against NC State, I think, and she was able to dig herself out of that hole and really battle that whole game. So I'm looking to see that same mentality here from her, just battling throughout this. Has 1 out with a runner on first, and she's getting to the meat of their lineup here. So I'm hoping to see her battle and continue to have such a strong mindset on the mound.
Elena Leach is the pinch runner at first base. She's got a twin sister on the team. In fact, she had 2 sisters who previously played at Tennessee as well. So Leach at first with 1 out. Sophia Nugent at the plate, the catcher, 1 for 3. Had a double in her last trip to lead off the 7th inning, but was left stranded there when Marjetko retired the next 3 batters, but she falls behind again here. Marjetko has pitched very well, but this is her 6th inning of relief work. Fell behind and walked west, and now falls behind 2-0 to Nugent. Hammers that one foul. Two-1 to Nugent. Bounces up there, and Margetko one bad one away from not only walking back-to-back hitters, but putting the go-ahead run into scoring position. Fouled straight back. Count is full. Payoff pitch to Sophia Nugent. Line drive caught by Bryant to take away a hit. It's a big second out. Nugent hit it on the nose, but right at Denver Bryant.
That's the second play this week that we've seen from Bryant where she has just had lockdown defense. She is just a gamer over there at third base, willing to do whatever it takes to stop a ball going down the line. So just hats off to her for playing such gritty defense and being able to stop everything over there on the hot corner.
Brings up the shortstop, Laura Mueller, 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts. Sandwiched around a fly to right. Swing and a miss, had a healthy cut. Wonder how much gas in the tank Margetko has. Again, 6th inning of relief work, so in the long scheme of things, not a long outing if she was a starting pitcher, but 6 innings of relief in a pressure 1-1 game
and
is
it's
something.
also the third time that this lineup is going to be seeing her,
right?
You know, so at some point I'm expecting to see these Tennessee hitters adjust, or at least attempt to adjust. You know, that's all you can ask for as a coach, is for those adjustments. But for Sage to be able to go in third time through the lineup and manage, that's awesome. She
works around the 1-out walk, and Tennessee leaves another stranded. Carlin Pickens, the sophomore, has lived up to the billing, the SEC Freshman of the Year last year, and she's been putting up great numbers here.
They did not give her that award for no reason.
Yeah.
And that has shown here tonight, just battling through these 9 innings here and being able just to give her all in this game so far has been outstanding.
First pitch to Denver Bryant, over but low. Of the 3 hits she's allowed, 2 of them are infield singles. She has not been tagged very hard. In fact, the best swings have come from Jen Cummings, scheduled to hit third. She had the sac fly and a double. Falls behind here 2-0, but we've seen this movie before where anytime she's fallen behind, she's worked back to get the outs.
You cannot count her out, and I think she has proven that tonight. No matter what counts you get in, she is still going to attack you with her best stuff, and she's not afraid.
2-0, comebacker. Look at that, easy peasy.
I wish I was that tall, so I could have had some grabs like that.
Way to be tall, but just reach the glove up and get yourself an out. And it's another ground out as Gamecocks have only flied out twice. All the other outs have been recorded, have been strikeouts or ground outs. There's Riley Blampede, the center fielder.
Must be really nice to have such long legs that you can stride halfway to the plate so you can throw 73 miles an hour. And then when a ground ball's hit back at you, all you have to do is lift your hand up so it doesn't go over you. If I could have had that in my career, man.
The things you could have done.
The things I could have done.
No balls, 1 strike on Riley Blampede. 1 out, bases empty here in the 9th. Big crowd tonight, and they've stayed, obviously enjoying what they're seeing here.
How can you not? It's a great game of softball.
Hit to center. Malloy is there, and he's 2 away. A rare fly out. That was hit right at Malloy, and you could see her stutter step initially, and sometimes the hardest thing to catch is the one that's hit right at you on the line.
Yeah, and the ones that are dying as they get to you never know how to read that. As an outfielder, you're always taught that your first step is back on anything in the air, but on one like that, you have to crash hard and make sure you're getting to it before it sinks too low for it to drop in for a hit. So great job on Malloy for being able to come in and read that well.
Here's Jen Cummings, the first baseman, 1 for 2. Had the sac fly in the first inning. Comebacker off the glove and off the glove of the shortstop, and Cummings reaches again. She had a double in the 4th inning, struck out her last time, but off the glove initially of the pitcher Pickens. The shortstop Mueller couldn't come up with it, and the Gamecocks have a runner aboard with 2 outs here.
Cummings is just having a week. She's been able to tattoo some balls this week and just absolutely get her best swings off on some of the best pitching in the country.
Yep. They can't pinch run for Cummings unless they want to pull her out of the game, because they already lifted her for a pinch runner in the 4th inning and re-entered. Kiana Jones, the left fielder, stands in. Potential winning run at first, but 2 are out here in the 9th. The 1-0, too far inside. The last play by Cummings, an infield hit. 3 of their 4 hits are of the infield variety, and they give that a hit because it went off the pitcher first.
Both Pooney and Cummings, accounting for half the hits for their team, are just having really productive days at the plate, swinging at great pitches, making sure they are getting their best swings off and trying to do everything they can to score their runners for their team.
A little conversation in the circle here as Pickens falls behind 3-0.
I have to say, in the situation, though, she has not proven us wrong.
Yeah.
How can we bet against her when she's every single time in a 3-ball count, she has come back to get the out?
Yep. To Jones. Strike called. Jones thought it was ball 4, but nipped the top of the plate. Not a pitch Jones could have done anything with anyway, taking on 3-0.
Hard in on the hands. That's a hard pitch to handle, especially coming in at 73 miles an hour.
Comebacker through the circle for a base hit, and the Gamecocks have him at first and second. Back-to-back hits for the first time today, and it puts the potential winning run at second base. First hit for Jones, and now the Gamecocks may get a runner for Cummings. They will at second base with the potential for a winning run. Reagan Marchant, redshirt freshman from Hilton Head, South Carolina.
The 9th, Brad.
I know, it does. This is nothing new for Gamecock softball lately with these extra innings.
They will take it to the 12th if they have to.
They did that on Wednesday in their win at 11th ranked Clemson. Infield back. Zoe Leno tried to end it with one swing there.
I think these past 2 games at Clemson and here at Tennessee, Brad, just goes to show when you're in the top 25, the level of competition and the talent that you're seeing, it is anyone's game when they step on the field.
Yep.
So just a hats off to all 3 teams involved that I just said, Clemson, Tennessee, and South Carolina, for being able just to compete and give their best shot at everything.
Gibson at third makes the play, and we will play on here in Columbia. Gamecocks get 2 on with 2 outs. They leave them. Panel at the plate as Margenko gets sent to go to work here in the 10th. Catchers are going to need some ice bags after this game.
Absolutely. Pitchers as well.
Yep.
I know their arms are probably exhausted.
There's a strike.
But, I mean, just as we said for Carlin Pickens earlier, the same can be said for Sage Margetko here. She's in her 7th inning of relief and only at 89 pitches here. That is outstanding efficiency by both pitchers. all around, I think that is just outstanding to be able to go into such a tough game, such a close game, maintain composure, and be super efficient.
And Panel gets a base hit to start the 10th here. Third time today they've gotten the lead off the board. First hit of the day for Panel, and a good start for Tennessee.
But like Taylor Swift says, Brad, you just have to shake it off.
We'll see if Margette goes able to do that. Destiny Rodriguez at the plate. She's reached twice. She walked and scored in the 3rd inning, singled in the 5th, and grounded out to end the 7th, so 1 for 2 officially. Again, Tennessee does not bunt much. They are last in the SEC with just 3 sacrifice hits. Not showing bunt there as Rodriguez takes a strike. Oh, 1 tried the checker swing. Did she go? They say she did not. Margetko deals 1-1, gets away, and the potential go-ahead run at second base. That ball bounced about a foot in front of the plate and seemed to fool Desiderio. Squirted foul up the first base side.
That's a tough ball to handle, especially being an off-speed pitch. You never know how it's spinning. You never know what it's going to do when it bounces off the ground like that. It bounced off of Desiderio's mask and then proceeded to go even further away from her. So I feel for Desiderio in that situation where it's getting away from her, and tough situation for the Gamecocks for it to be runner on second with no outs here.
2-2 the count. RBI opportunity for Rodriguez. Grounded to Bryant at 3rd. Looks the runner. Throws the out there. Throw back to 3rd is not in time. Good play all around. Bryant tried to freeze the runner. Panel got the out at first, but then Panel able to take 3rd ahead of the throw. So go-ahead run is at 3rd with just 1 out.
That was just outstanding base running by Panel there to be able to read that, to stay off the bag just enough, but not far enough to bait Bryant to throw her at second, and to be able to get such a quick move as soon as Bryant released the ball to get safe into 3rd base. Outstanding base running, and that is a clutch situation for her to be able to do that in.
Coach Beverly Smith.
They are calling into the conference in probably Birmingham, Alabama, which is where the SEC headquarters
the call on
are.
the field is upheld. The runner did not leave early.
Okay, runner did not leave early, so the go-ahead run at 3rd with 1 out. And I believe we're going to get a pinch hitter here, as Cameron Sarvis has grabbed a bat, a sophomore from Gray, Tennessee. She'll hit in the 9 spot. Sarvis makes her first plate appearance. She is 5 for 12 on the year, a .417 average in her limited trips. Has 1 double, 3 runs batted in. Gamecocks will bring the infield in with just 1 out. Panel the go-ahead run at 3rd base. First pitch fouled off.
And you're seeing the defense crash in here, Brad, because we have 1 out with a runner on 3rd. This is a great opportunity for the Tennessee offense to run a squeeze, to put a bunt down and automatically send their runner. But it's also a risky move in a game like this. With the defense that has been hot so far, Bryant at 3rd, who's been able to get some great plays for her pitchers, it is an interesting situation to see whether or not, well.
That's Sarvis. Flies out to center. Runner's going to tag. Here comes the play at the plate. She is out. Wow. Double play to end the top of the 10th as Blampede catches the pop fly. I don't know.
It's dicey.
It is.
And reminder, they have to have.
Review, the call on the field is changed to safe.
Yep. So they overturn it, and it'll go as a sac fly to give Tennessee the 2-1 lead here. So give Sarvis the RBI on the sacrifice.
And a reminder, however this call turns out, it was an absolutely outstanding play by Blampede. The throw was right where you want it.
Yep.
After review, the runner did not leave early at 3rd.
All right, so there you go. The run stands. And it's 2-1 Tennessee officially now with 2 outs.
No more reviews, hopefully.
Yep. 2 outs, and Tennessee's still batting here in the top of the 10th. And back to the top of the order with the dangerous Kiki Malloy, who's 0 for 4 today.
And as I was saying, Blampede to be able to make that type of play.
It's bunted foul. Or was it foul? I thought the umpire put her hands up, but
she
apparently
did.
not.
And maybe she's taking it back. And we automatically see Bev Smith out of that dugout saying, no, you called that foul.
I thought she did initially. And the throw went into the runner and allowed her to advance. And Coach Bev Smith out to have a conversation with the home plate umpire.
And I have to say, that was a great decision on Malloy's part to be able to put down that bunt in that situation, because she has not been productive at the plate all day, which is very atypical of her. So to see her put a bunt down, show the a third skill that she has, she can hit, she can run, and to be able to bunt in that situation, that's huge. That is just, that's strategy right there. It shows her game knowledge. Absolutely outstanding.
Not only does Tennessee have the lead now, they've got a big potential insurance run in scoring position with 2 outs as they review. Let's see where the runner was, because the runner, was she in the baseline? That would be the other consideration, running to first. It'd be a hit and a error if it stands. The error would get her to second base. So we'll see if we can take a look. Watch the home plate umpire after the bunt initially here.
The hands go up.
I think she was just saying, perhaps, not saying foul, but safe, that it was in play.
Maybe.
Yep.
It's just difficult to tell, were the hands in the goalpost position or were they in the safe position?
Right.
What an inning so far.
A lot of action and a lot of reviews on some bang-bang plays here.
This is some great free softball.
Yeah. We're in the 10th inning. 2-1 Tennessee.
Umpire review. We wanted to look at the interference at first base that was not called interference, but we wanted to look at that, and it's upheld. The play stands.
All right, so everything stands as is. Runner at second with 2 outs, as the umpires wanted to look and see if there was interference. So Tennessee with the go-ahead run and looking for insurance here. Zeta Pooney, the first baseman, checks in. And she's had a good day, 2 for 4, an RBI and a couple of singles. Malloy at second base with 2 outs after the Gamecocks thought they were out of the inning, but the play at the plate was overturned correctly on a bang-bang play that initially was ruled as a double play.
And still, I'm blown away by Blampede's accuracy.
Yep.
Started as an infielder first, and then she went to the outfield and has just been so flexible in that position and been able to really adapt well. And she's just been a gamer out there. She's done everything she can to adjust, everything she can to own her role and know what she's out there for. And that was just an awesome play by her, no matter what the call was.
2-0 now the count on Zeta Pooney as Marjetko trying to limit the damage here in the 10th. And falls behind here.
With the pace of this game from the very beginning, I thought we were going to get it out of here early, but here it stands that I have no more room on my sheet to be able to track any of these at-bats as we stand in the 10th inning here.
3-0 pitch. Down low, she walked her. Second walk allowed by Marjetko in her 7 innings of relief work. And it puts him at first and second with 2 down. And McKenna Gibson steps in, the third baseman, who struck out 4 times tonight. Marjetko trying to get out of the inning without further damage. This one hammered foul down the left field line. And you get the feeling Marjetko might be running out. This is what, 3rd time through the order, getting ready to be the 4th time perhaps.
Yes, almost 4th time through this lineup.
Which is a lot to ask from a freshman against the 7th-ranked Tennessee team.
It sure is.
Grounded right side. Black is there. No one's covering the bag, but she'll win the foot race, and that'll end the frame. But Tennessee gets the important go-ahead run here in the top of the 10th. Last chance for the Gamecock. Correctly overturned on what initially was ruled a fly out, throw them out at the plate double play that South Carolina had hoped would end the inning, but the call at the plate was overturned and allowed the run to score on what became a sac fly.
I have to say, no matter the result of this game here, I think all weekend this is going to be a great fight between these two teams. I think it's a great matchup. And if the Gamecocks keep playing with this intensity and this competitive mentality, I think these next two games are going to be a fight for the Tennessee Volunteers.
0-1. Yep, top 25 battle, which you can say just about every week when you
when you're in
this
the
league,
SEC.
when more than half the teams are ranked each week. Tennessee in at the corners. 1-1. That'll get into left field for a base hit, and the Gamecocks get the tying run aboard here to start the 10th inning as Carly Henderson has her first hit. Runner aboard now for Carly Shelton. We'll see how the Gamecocks play it. Carly Shelton, the second baseman.
And it looks like we're going to get a change for the Volunteers, potentially change from the bullpen.
Yeah, that might be it for
Absolutely,
yeah.
Brad. You know, I think with these two pitchers for Tennessee, you're just going to see a ton of speed, no matter what. Like, yes, Pickens is up in the 70s, but Gottschall has some speed of her own, too. Like, she is going to buzz it in there. And I think it's a great move by Tennessee here to try and allow Gottschall to finish this game out. We saw Pickens almost 4 straight times through the lineup. So I think they're ready for a different look since they just got a hit on the board. So I think Gottschall's a great move here to be able to go and close out this game for the Volunteers.
Shelton, the freshman at the plate, is 1 for 3, an infield single in her last trip. Back in the 8th inning, a couple of ground outs. All 3 times she's hit it to second base. She was able to leg it out for an infield single last time.
I think she really likes her position, Brad.
Yeah, right. 1-1, pops up the bunt. That's the second strike. She only has 1 sacrifice hit on the year, so will be forced to swing away here, you assume.
And in that situation, Brad, getting that bunt down is so crucial. To be able to move your runner, a runner on first with no outs is a great sign for this South Carolina offense. But to be able to move her with a bunt right there is absolutely necessary. So here we are with Shelton, who's had 3 ground outs to second base his whole game. We have to see a different look from her now.
Skies this one, foul territory. Everyone chases. What a grab out there. My goodness, runner will tag and go to second on the play.
I think the ball was down before it was in her glove.
What a catch out there in left field. That was Cameron Sarvis. Another look there. Yeah, that looked like it bounced.
I think it bounced.
Yep. So we'll have everyone retreat to their previous spots. Take the star away from that one. Gotta love the effort, though.
Absolutely.
Diving there and...
Gotta love the extra life for Shelton here, too.
Yep.
I bet she is thanking her lucky stars.
Still a ball and 2 strikes on the freshman. As Gottschall goes back to work. Got her swinging. Big punch out there as Shelton is retired. First strikeout for Peyton Gottschall. Julia Desiderio, the catcher, at the plate now. She re-entered after it was lifted for a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. She's 0 for 2 tonight, a strikeout and a flyout. A generous strike there on the hands of Desiderio. Henderson at first.
I think with Gottschall, we're going to see a little bit more east to west action. She's going to have a little bit more movement on her pitches and not as just hard, straight stuff like we saw with Pickens. So her being able to locate and command these pitches, command the zone, command both corners is going to be huge for her success against this team.
Gottschall, as we told you, 10-2 so far this season. She was 16-2 last year in her first season with the Lady Vols, had 130 strikeouts. Two-one, misses. Nugent tried to pull it back in. Rips foul and runs the count full.
I think an adjustment for these South Carolina hitters here against Gottschall is Pickens was at 70, 73, but now we're dropping down. I mean, it's still in the high 60s with Gottschall, but that adjustment is crucial.
Yeah.
Being so out in front of that pitch like Desiderio was there is a crucial adjustment for these South Carolina hitters to make in this moment with the game on the line.
Runner at first with one down here in the bottom of the 10th. Payoff pitch, lifted foul, will do it again as that gets out of play. Fortunately for both these teams, tomorrow is a night game as well, so they can actually sleep in. You always hate that when you have the night game, then you turn around and play a noon game the next day.
Absolutely.
Another 3-2 pitch to Desiderio. Popped up, that'll reach the seats again. Another good battle here.
If you're a fan in these South Carolina stands tonight, I hope you packed a snack, or I hope you were ready to wait in that concession line, because it is a long game. It has been going on since 6 o'clock tonight. We're almost in hour 3 here.
Yep. Payoff pitch outside, and the Gamecocks have another base runner. They're at first and second with one down. That's the first walk allowed by a Tennessee pitcher tonight. And it puts them at first and second, a potential tying run at second, potential winning run at first, and the Gamecocks will go to their bench for the 9th spot where Brooke Blankenship was scheduled to hit. And we'll get her in the circle and may have something to say about that as Peyton Gutschall in the circle. Elena Vaughter at the plate, the transfer from Stanford, the All-American pitcher, getting a chance to hit here. She's 3 for 16 on the year. Takes a strike from Gutschall. First and second with one out. Gamecocks down a run in the bottom of the 10th. Vaughter, who's getting more chances to hit this year with South Carolina, 3 for 16 of her 3 hits. One's a double, one was a walk-off home run. Check that one foul, and she's behind 0-2.
Vaughter really wanted the chance to hit here at South Carolina, and she went up to Bev Smith and was like, "Coach, give me a shot. Put me in, Coach. Give me the chance to hit." And when Coach Smith did, it paid off big. Vaughter was able to help soar the Gamecocks past a tough opponent and was able to get them the walk-off win. So you have to love that initiative that Vaughter came in with and was just, "Coach, give me a shot. I'll do it. Give me a shot, and I'll do something big here."
I believe it was the walk-off, against Boston University.
Yes, the first game in the
tournament last weekend, a top 25 team. Ball and 2 strikes now. Gutschall trying to close things down for Tennessee. Popped up in the infield. Gibson is there, and there's the big second out for Tennessee. Last chance for the Gamecocks to go back to the top of the order with the third baseman, Denver Bryant. Gamecocks got a leadoff single from Carly Henderson, a walk from Julia Desiderio, but there's 2 outs now for Denver Bryant, who's 1 for 4 and scored the Gamecocks' lone run after an infield hit in the first inning. First pitch had a healthy cut but came up empty. Bryant hitting .250, 2 doubles, no home runs, 7 runs batted in.
She's had a hit today and a hard shot back at Pickens, so you know she's seeing the ball well. It's just a matter of getting a good pitch here and getting a good cut on it to help try and get these Gamecocks in.
Ball and a strike now in a marathon game, 10th inning, after the Gamecocks played 12 innings on Wednesday in their win at Clemson. 1-1 pitch, fouled straight back, and Tennessee 1 strike away from taking game 1 of this series. Whoever wins this game, it's going to be well earned, that's for sure. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Tennessee. 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error for the Gamecocks. And we're in the 10th. Peyton Gotschall in the circle. The 1-2 pitch to Denver Bryant. Got her swinging, and that'll end it. Second strikeout for Gottschall, and Tennessee takes game one in 10 innings as they knock off South Carolina 2-1. For both teams, you got to love what you saw from the pitchers